today, Robyn Chachula is here to share with us some of her best tips and how-tos, along with a great tutorial on using stitch diagrams. Hi, Robyn.
Hey, Brett.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
I'm very excited to do a little lesson on stitch diagrams because I love them. Some people resist the stitch diagrams in crochet.
See, I'm actually dyslexic, and written instructions, I just get lost. I somehow the double crochets, single crochets, they can all get twisted around.
Yeah.
But in the diagram, I know exactly which one's which because there's a symbol for it.
Yeah, in Crochet Today we do a diagram for almost every pattern, unless it's just a simple single crochet
and
fabric.
And totally, for people like me, it's just wonderful. It's such a gift.
Me too.
So, let me tell you a little bit about them.
Let's spread the diagram love.
All right, so in every diagram, there's always going to be a key. So it's like following like a paint by number. So you find the symbol, you'll find what the stitch means. They always start at the beginning. A chain is just a simple oval.
Which kind of looks like a chain.
Exactly. You do an oval into an oval, so it perfect sense.
Yeah.
A slip stitch is a tiny little dot. And you think about a slip stitch, they're almost invisible anyway, so that's why it'd be a tiny little dot. A single crochet is a squat stitch, just like you would do. It's short and squat, so that's why you got it. Then as you go down all of the rest of them.
Sorry, I should just interrupt and say sometimes a single crochet is an X. So it's an X or a plus, just in case anyone notices that.
Right, in different patterns. But they all mean the same thing.
Yeah.
They're still going to be short and squat.
Right.
As you go down, all of the rest start to get taller and taller, just like your stitches do. And what you'll always notice, the little key which I love with these things, is if you forget what the heck a treble is, how many times do I yarn over? They tell you right there, these two little dashes mean 2 yarn overs.
It's brilliant.
I love it.
It's so easy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's play together.
Okay.
So I have a little stitch diagram here. And I have already completed up to row 5. So I just did this double crochet.
Well, let's just explain how to read the stitch diagrams, because they start with row 1, and it's the same way that you crochet. The first row goes right to left, and then you go from left to right, and you actually read the diagram in the order that you would crochet it.
Yeah.
And every stitch is always directly over the stitch that you work into. So, you know, this is worked into that chain stitch.
Exactly.
It's really an actual literal representation of what the stitches look like.
That's why it's awesome.
Yes.
So well, anyway, so we're on row 6. So obviously that little oval means a chain. So I'm going to chain 1. And then I realize, okay, I'm at the end. I got to flip it over. So then I look at the next one. That's a squat little guy, so it has to be a single crochet. So I single crochet into my double crochet. I look at the next one. That's a chain. Okay, do that. Now the next one looks a little confusing. I know it's a single crochet, but does it go into this one? Does it go into that one? Because it doesn't look like it's going into either. So then you realize, well, it must not be going to either. It must be going right in between them. So that's pretty easy. I mean, it's showing in between, so you do it in between. And that's exactly what, if you want to check it, that's exactly what the pattern would have told you.
And often, almost always, there are line-by-line instructions that are complementary to the diagram. So if for any reason you're a little unsure about whether it's in between a stitch or in a stitch, just check the written instructions
and
for that line.
I'll mess up so you can see. So I'm going to chain 1 and mess up and actually go into one of these guys. And when you look at it, you can see, oh, wait, that doesn't look like all of, how it would look like.
Yeah.
And how it looks there. So it's like, oh, I messed up, I just frog it. It's great. Now, these are like stitch pattern repeats where you're going back and forth, back and forth.